Age 43, and we are traveling today. And actually, we're not traveling, but it's related to travel.
Yes.
We're trying to get a refund for a travel booking.
Oh.
And sometimes it's not easy to get refunds.
They don't like to give you your money back.
They love to take your money, but they don't want to give it back.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Who is responsible is the subtitle. So we'll find out what's going on. But first, we've got some expressions that we're going to cover.
Yes.
Reach out to someone. So reach out. You can reach out your hand or reach out, literally. But if you reach out to someone.
Yes, most of the time we use this expression to mean you're trying to contact someone, either by phone or email, letter, even. It's to try and start a conversation with them.
Right. This is definitely a biz phrase.
Yes.
A spike in, S-P-I-K-E.
A spike in means that there is a sharp increase in something.
Now, this is not necessarily religious, but the expression is lose faith in someone and something. So when we see the word faith, we think, oh, okay, like God and faith. But what does this mean?
So faith means something along the lines of like a strong belief in.
Yeah.
So if you lose faith in someone or something, you stop believing them. Often you thought they were really good, but then they're not as good as I thought.
Right. Okay. So it's kind of a deep belief.
Yes.
Deep trust that's broken.
Yes.
Okay. Let's go ahead and listen to our travel dialogue.
Thanks for holding, Tim. I reached out to our accounting department. The news isn't all great.
Oh no! What did he tell you?
He said there has been a spike in refund requests from the website you used. The problem is, they aren't responding to our inquiries.
Yeah, I also tried calling them, but I only got an automated response.
Don't lose faith in Ace Airlines, Tim. I'll call you back as soon as I have an answer.
Thanks, Carol. I can't afford to lose this money.
Tim is trying to get a refund, and Carol is the representative.
Yes.
And she says, thanks for holding, Tim. And I really like this expression, too. When you've got someone on the line, it's like, oh, please hold. Can you hold on? And then after you come back, you're like, oh, thanks for holding.
Yes.
Okay? I reached out to our accounting department. The news isn't all great.
Oh, no.
Okay, so two things. I reached out to our accounting department.
Yes.
Simply?
I contacted our accounting department.
So, Cameron, why do we say reached out to instead of I contacted?
There's not really a difference in meaning. It's just another way to say it.
Yeah.
But you might say reach out to if you're trying to make contact.
Yeah.
But maybe you haven't successfully done it yet.
Okay. All right. And for me, I feel like if you say you reached out to, it means it feels like you really made an effort to. Like you almost reached out your hand or your arm and really try to get in contact with him.
Yes. Yeah, it's not just, I tried to send an email.
Yeah.
Nothing happened.
Right. Exactly.
There's a little more effort involved.
A little bit more effort, yes. And she says the news isn't all great, which is an awkward way of saying...
I've got bad news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So instead of saying, I've got bad news, she makes it really nice.
Because if you say, I've got bad news, it makes me think that something horrible is about to be said.
Right.
Whereas the news isn't all great, maybe it seems like I have good news and I have some bad news. And it's not... so terrible.
Yes, because if you say bad, you think, oh, it's the worst.
The world is ending.
Yes, so it isn't all great. And Tim says, oh, no, what did he tell you? And what does Carol say?
He said there has been a spike in refund requests from the website you used. The problem is they aren't responding to our inquiries.
Interesting. So remember, Tim used a third party.
Yes.
So he didn't book this ticket from the airlines.
Yeah, not directly.
Not directly, right. And so that's why Carol says there's been a spike in refund requests from the website you use. So there's been what in refund requests?
There's been a spike in, and that means a sharp increase. And it might be easy to think of like a graph.
Yeah.
You know when you have like a sharp mountain in your graph?
Right.
We'd call that a spike in the graph.
Yeah, that's right. So a spike is, and often too, kind of sudden too.
Right. Because it's pointy. If you think of like shoes that you wear for soccer or baseball, you have the spikes on the bottom.
Yeah.
So the graph is taking the shape of those spikes. It's pew, all of a sudden.
Right. So she's saying that this website, all of a sudden, everybody wants a refund. But the problem is they aren't responding to our inquiries. Okay. Our power pattern today is the problem is.
Yes.
That's easy.
Right. So this is easy as far as grammar goes. Obviously, in this expression, you're explaining what the problem is. However, it's interesting to note that she first gives a very general situation and then goes to the final problem that they have.
Okay.
So she gives a big picture, then says, the problem is, and zooms in to the problem.
Got it. And if you notice, and this is why you need a book, the problem is, and there's a comma, they aren't responding to our inquiries. So it's not, the problem is, like, it's not a continuous sentence.
Right.
Yes. So it's kind of highlighting something.
Yes.
Like you just mentioned, like,
It's the introduction. Hey, here's the problem. I'm going to tell you. Ding, 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 ding.
That's right. Okay, so we're using that as a pattern.
Right.
What does Tim say?
Yeah, I also tried calling them, but I only got an automated response.
Okay, great vocab.
Yes.
Automated, we think of automatic, autonomous, right? By itself.
Yes.
Yeah? Response. So what are automated responses? I hate them.
When you get on the phone and
Yeah.
it says, if you want English, press 1. If you want Spanish, press 2.
Yeah. And if you want to listen to this again, press star.
Yeah.
And then you push it, and then it just keeps going on.
Yeah.
You want to talk to a real person.
I'm sorry, all of our operators are busy. Please call again.
And they hang up.
Yes.
Oh,
Do.
I hate that. All right, so that is an automated response.
Yes.
Okay. Carol says, don't lose faith in Ace Airlines, Tim. I'll call you back as soon as I have an answer. So she's trying to make him feel better.
Yes.
Don't lose faith in Ace Airlines. What does this mean?
So we talked about faith being a deep belief. Whenever she says, don't lose faith in Ace Airlines, she's saying, don't stop believing in Ace Airlines. Believe us, we will help you.
We will take care of you.
Right.
Right. So it's kind of like, don't give up on Ace Airlines too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So she's saying, it's okay. We're going to figure something out.
We are.
Yeah. Don't despair. It's an interesting way of saying, like, trust us.
Yes.
Believe us.
Don't lose faith.
Don't lose faith. Okay. And Tim says, thanks, Carl. I can't afford to lose this money.
Yeah.
And this, I tell you, is really frustrating. When you buy something and you are working with an international company and it's just really hard.
Yeah.
In those cases, and your English is not that good, that's super hard.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done this in Korean, trying to get a refund.
In Korean.
Yeah, so.
It's the hardest thing. It's the hardest thing.
Yes, it
All
is.
right, so let's pay attention one more time.
Thanks for holding, Tim. I reached out to our accounting department. The news isn't all great.
Oh no! What did he tell you?
He said there has been a spike in refund requests from the website you used. The problem is, they aren't responding to our inquiries.
Yeah, I also tried calling them, but I only got an automated response.
Don't lose faith in Ace Airlines, Tim. I'll call you back as soon as I have an answer.
Thanks, Carol. I can't afford to lose this money.
Let's move on to Power Note. We're on pages 46 and 7 of our PE textbook. Now, if you reached out to someone, it means to contact someone, but it's not simply just contact. Usually it means it can be like you need help, so you reached out to them, or they need help and you reached out to them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree completely.
Yeah.
There's some kind of, you're contacting them, but you're also trying to get some kind of work started quite often. Yeah.
Right.
You're either trying to help them with their problems, or I've got this project.
And you need their help.
I need their help.
Yeah. So help and contact, I think, kind of go together in this phrase.
Yes, they do.
Okay. Do you know anyone I could stay with in New York for a few days?
You should reach out to your cousin Pat. He has an apartment in Manhattan. He's rich if he's got an apartment in Manhattan.
Yeah, you reach out. Yeah, when you're traveling and you need, I don't want to stay at a hotel. Is there anywhere I could stay? Oh, you can reach out to my cousin's friend who lives in, London.
Right. Maybe you haven't talked to them in a long time. There's often the feeling that there's been a long time that you have not talked to this person.
Right.
But now you are contacting them to use them.
Right. So in this case, instead of saying contact, because contact means just 전화해봐. 연락해봐. It's not that feeling. It's kind of like, maybe you should look into it.
Yes.
And contact them.
Right.
We reached out to an animal shelter when we found a family of stray dogs.
Yes.
So instead of saying we contacted an animal shelter, if you reach out to them, you're asking for their help.
Yeah, you're extending your arm. You're probably going to grab them and pull them to get these dogs help.
Right.
That is the visual feeling of this expression.
Yes, that's right. Okay, so on a personal note, we can reach out to people.
Yes.
We can reach out maybe to the homeless. Maybe you want to volunteer and you want to help the elderly or the homeless. We use this expression to reach out to the homeless or the elderly.
Right.
That you're going to help them. It's not just contacting them. You're contacting them to help them.
Right. You can contact a friend who's having a hard time.
Yeah.
Oh, Stacy, she recently has had a bad time. She lost her job.
Yeah.
Maybe we should reach out to her.
Yes.
Get some coffee.
Right.
Just talk to her.
That's right, right. So 2 things. And then in the office, if you say, why don't you reach out to Frank in, marketing?
Yes.
Then that could be like, you need some help? Maybe he can help you.
Yes.
Right.
So you're contacting, wanting to use them. It sounds bad, but there is kind of an expectation of that.
Well, yeah. You want someone's help. You need their advice. You need their expertise. That's why you're reaching out to them.
Yes.
Right. Or you're reaching out to them to help them. Yeah. So very good expression. Now, a spike in something means a sudden increase.
Yes.
Very simple. Very clear. Can you explain the spike in electricity use last month?
I think someone left the air conditioner on in the empty conference room.
All right. There's been a spike in customer complaints since the restaurant changed its menu.
Yes. So both of these are all of a sudden, bam!
Yeah.
There's so many more than there were before.
Yeah.
Both of these are examples that are kind of negative. Is it always negative?
Is it? Well,
I mean, don't think it is.
No, I don't think so.
But this does have a feeling of surprise to it.
Right.
And I think often bad things are a surprise.
Yes.
But you can use it for both good and bad.
I mean, you could say, the population rate was very low, but there was a sudden spike in 2019 or, whatever year. So that's not negative.
Right.
Yeah. So when we're speaking of graphs and when we're presenting numbers and figures, in that way, it's not negative or positive. It's just a fact.
Yeah, it's what it is.
Yeah, that's right. But outside of that, like you said, there's a spike in our electrical bills, or there's a spike in rents in this neighborhood. Yeah, that's not good.
Yes. Yeah. It doesn't always have to be bad, but there is maybe a slight leaning towards being for negative situations.
That's right. So everyone, when you're doing a presentation,
Yes.
instead of saying, "Oh, there was a sudden increase," if you want to upgrade your English, "Oh, as you can see from this graph, there is a sudden spike in momomo."
Yes.
Okay. Lose faith in someone or something means to stop believing, trusting in someone or something. All right. Why did Mr. Tompkins get fired as CEO?
The board of directors lost faith in him after 2 years of poor earnings.
So what does this mean? The directors, they lost faith in this CEO.
So the board of directors usually chooses a CEO to manage a company and, create profit. And they're willing to believe him. 1 quarter, 2 quarters, maybe, the sales were bad, but
Right.
it's fine.
Right.
But when he has a long 2 years of just bad performance,
Yeah.
they don't believe in him anymore.
Yeah, that's right.
They think he can't do it.
That's right.
And that's called losing their faith in him.
That's right. That's right. So believing is 믿는다, right?
Yeah.
In Korean. But it's not so much like believing what he's saying,
Right.
but it's about his character.
Right. It's about
Right?
his trust in his either character as a person
Right.
or ability to perform.
Exactly. Exactly. All right. I could never lose faith in the goodness of people.
This would be saying, I believe that everyone is good inside.
That's right. So we should never lose faith in humanity, as many people say.
Yes.
Meaning people can do good things. All right. The problem is our power pattern, which is, the problem is.
Yes.
But it's used as a pattern. Let's see how it's used here. The problem is this car uses too much fuel.
The problem is we need to make reservations weeks in advance.
So you're talking a general, and then you're getting very specific.
Yeah, you go right to the problem.
All right. Automated response is our power vocabulary on page 48. Do check out the explanation there. Let's thank our sponsor.